Good afternoon. My name is Jaquez Caldwell. I'm a student at Columbus State University, and my major is computer science with a cybersecurity focus. Um, so, going over briefly what I've discussed previous is about AI automation and will AI and automation take your job or career within the next 3 to 5 years? Well, the answer is yes, and the answer is also no. So it may take your actual job title and role. However, it's going to be taking just that. Your position can evolve into something greater, and so now you would transform from the individual who does those tasks to the individual who supervises and manages those tasks. And that's a very big difference. And I don't think a lot of people really bring that up whenever they're discussing will it take your job. In my opinion, the answer is yes and no. And according to research that I've done, according to Frey and Osborne in their forum, um, around 47% of jobs in the United States are within critical standing when it comes to being replaced by AI and automation. But also further than that is that most of those people whose roles get taken over, majority of those individuals keep their position if they if they already have somewhat of a technical skill base to go up to go along with what the change is and the direction that the company is going into. And I think that's pretty important. And I wanted to make sure we've established that first. Um, uh, so the thing is about ignoring. So where the world is going right now, if you choose to ignore the advancement and the technical skills within the workforce, if you choose to ignore the advancement of preparedness, and you just ignore where the world is trending right now. um, if you really want to have some type of successful career, you really need to understand that even down to the basic level of being a teacher. And I'm not saying that's basic, but just in terms of, like, but even down all the way down to being a teacher, you know, you have to know how to work and be technically savvy with systems, because now, we've made a change, and it's not just the workforce, it's the way we're learning in general. It's our kids, it's our students, and like everything. Like, we've transformed from hard copy textbooks to PDF files, PDF documents. No, we've transferred from, like, everybody going to class in person to now it's online. You have an online option. Complete your entire degree online. You know, those things are very important because the professors, the teachers, they're now having to put themselves in a situation to not to from doing the task every day, managing and supervising students personally, face to face, every day, to now they're having to manage the systems that's managing those students. So it's a very keen thing to understand. And there's a lot of good teachers that was lost throughout this process because they weren't technically savvy, or they didn't really agree with the trending role of where the world was going. But unfortunate for them, this trend isn't going to stop. I think if you really understand where the world is going, uh, and you understand the skill set that you must gain in order to stay ahead, because becoming look at your it's important to assess your current uh, technical skills, assess those, and understand that getting ahead of the curve actually puts you in power to lead the charge, to lead the change, instead of being the one who gets changed by it. You want to lead the change and not get led by the change. And so, understanding that it's still early in the game to do these things and get ahead, get technically savvy, you'll really become a threat. You'll become a threat. You'll be very knowledgeable. I think it's very important for almost every single profession to get at least technically savvy in a certain point. Because whenever I used to do construction, even though we're out there digging with our hands and everything like that, like, we still had a lot of tools that we had to go in, and we had to manually input certain things, certain tools that Not every tool we had was just manual hard labor. We had a tool that would go down and measure the trenches and everything like that for us. And so, but we had to program all those things, like so all the way down to the construction base. You have to be somewhat technically savvy, and that's just where the world is trending right now. So I guess moving forward, some things to saying, keep calling for the action, keep moving forward, keep progressing, is that learn, commit yourself to being a continuous learner. Try to learn the best you can. You don't have to become a engineer or anything like that, but just at the basic level, try to do your due diligence to keep moving forward, so you don't get behind in your company or your job, whatever. If you want that promotion, understand the systems or the technical fundamentals that you would need to progress to that next level. Just try to do your best to keep on learning that way. Like I said, just build your skills for sure. And uh, I think the biggest thing going forward in the world right now is that you have to learn AI, and don't fear it. You have to really embody everything that's coming with this new tech age. I mean, companies, even with cyber attacks, you have to really understand, even with these cyber attacks, those are technically a good thing. Not in the big scheme of things, but if you really look at it, though companies getting shown their vulnerabilities creates numerous amounts of jobs, because at these companies you only had one to five man teams managing certain things. Once a lot of companies start getting exposed because they weren't so technically savvy in the cybersecurity realm, companies went out and they will invest millions. Cybersecurity is one of the single-handed most uh, investments for companies nowadays. It used to be almost the last on the totem pole. Now it's the first, because it's very important to secure your systems, to secure your data, and secure the people who invest in your company. And you need to hire individuals who understand, and who understands how important that is to them. So they invest top dollar. Cybersecurity is on the trend within the next 5 years to be up there with some of the highest paid jobs. And so you really have to understand, commit yourself. Even if you don't want to be a cybersecurity engineer, just understand, even at the basic level, it can do wonders. Because if you're a student, when you wake up, you check your phone. You go to school, you're using your laptop, your iPad. You go to Starbucks, you're using tap to pay. That's technology as well. In today's time, there are very little tasks that doesn't require any technology. From sun up to sundown, 95% of people, according to the forums in 2027, from sun up to sundown, 95% of individuals is using technology for more than 7 hours a day. 95% of people. So I encourage you to get out there, get active, and don't let technology lead you. You lead the charge.